Ico. It's a game I've played a couple of times. It's one of those ones that I always appreciate that it exists. Everything basically that Fumito Ueda has made, I've enjoyed every single one of them. I love all three of his games that we've gotten. Looking forward to his next game. But today I just kind of wanted to talk about Ico and just thoughts and feelings of what I think about it. So hopefully you will enjoy my thoughts. So here we go. Fumito Ueda. He makes games like no one else really does. And seeing the obvious influence this game has had on so many games since it's come out was one thing that I didn't quite grasp until I recently played through this game. Again, obviously, but yeah, Ico, whatever, is a game I do feel is a game that is pretty special The amount of, like I said, amount of influence that it has had on single player games is definitely a thing I don't know if many people quite see, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it's one thing I love about the game is that it is not particularly long. Really, honestly, all of his games are not really long games. Like if you play them a certain way, you can take your time. It's a little more difficult to do in Ico, but there's not really any real point in taking your time on like Shadow of the Colossus. And Last Guardian, I mean, there's that kind of is just a nice, good flow to it. Yeah, that's kind of an emotional roller coaster thing. But we're talking about Ico. Obviously, it's 20 years old now as recording this, and yeah, it's definitely playing through it again. I felt that I was getting it and understanding it more, and I was loving certain aspects of the game that I don't know if a lot of people quite like. I don't know. Like, I personally really love how, the boy swings weapons. Yes, it's very flaily, it's very, but I like that actually. It makes sense to me. Like, he wouldn't be some amazing warrior fighter type, obviously. But, yeah, I just really like that about it. Yeah, the controls aren't really super, they were kind of loose, and but that's kind of the charm of the game to me. I mean, would I like to see a remake thing of the game where they tightened up controls a little bit? Sure, but I almost think I think at best, I would be fine with what they did with Shadow of the Colossus a few years ago, where it still felt like Shadow of the Colossus, but few things here and there are a little tightened up, and it made it for a better overall experience. I still love the original Shadow of the Colossus, but in my opinion, the 2018 remake did enough to where it still felt like it, but you still had quite a bit of I'm trying to think of a word of you still had it feel better than it did, but I don't know, words escape me, I guess. But yeah, Ico, that game just has so much atmosphere to it. And I mean, that's one thing I kind of loved and kind of miss about PS2 era games. You don't have a lot of games where, and there's some stuff that, like, the atmosphere of this is quite good, whatnot, but I don't know, it seems like a lot of games back then just had this certain thing about them, atmosphere-wise. I don't know what it is, but again, this is not some, like, review of Ico or, going through the game and whatnot, but yeah, it's. I think thinking about it now, that's in its 20th year of existence, basically. Yeah, it's really got me thinking. I would love more games like this. That's just about the pure figuring out, because the thing about Ico is, it is quite simple. You're in this one location, obviously going through different locations in that large castle, but it's all in that central place. And that's kind of, obviously Last Guardian's a little larger, but all that takes place in, well, Shadow of the Colossus takes place in the whole field, but yeah. But Ico still is just to that one castle. You do go, like the ending, you do go to that beach or whatever, but that's the ending kind of thing. But yeah, the feeling playing this game is like, you get out, you find the girl, and you start, okay, well, let's figure out how to get out. And you do, but then the evil queen character stops you. So you're like, well, that's mysterious. And then find out that the girl is the queen's daughter, and that's a whole thing. But I love the pacing. Like, it just keeps going. There's no, your save points, obviously your rest areas, but there's no real time to relax outside of those times. Because everyone's like, well, we gotta get out of here, because you basically get that from the very start. But yeah, it's it's not really that much to talk about, but it's also a lot. I feel like there's a lot of things I would like to say about it, but there's not really much to talk about because, again, it is a shorter game, but it's a really enjoyable experience throughout. Like I said at the beginning of this, no one makes games like Ueda does. A lot of people obviously have been influenced by him, and directly very influenced by him, but he has this, I don't know what it is, but certain quality to each of his games that you look and think, that's a Ueda game. And all three are different, but all three have, a lot of similarities to them. Shadow of the Colossus being the most different. But, yeah, just, I just look at those games and go, I would love more, and I'm looking forward, because I know he has a new game he's been working on, so I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll be hearing something soon, as in terms of this recording. But yeah, he's one of those. I have kind of like a tier of game creators that I always get excited about what they make. He's up there, but it is also just really bizarre to me. He's only made 3 big games, or 3 games and whatnot. But yeah, that's what's baffling to me. But I guess it's quality over quantity, in my opinion. You know, I know people have issues with the games with controls and how the character feels or whatever. I don't know. I get that. I get people's issues with certain aspects. It kind of makes me feel that's, like I said, like the combat of Ico is very much obviously he's not good with weapon or whatever. Even when you get the sword, you're still not fighting like you know what you're doing. You're still pretty flaily, basically. And I like that because it made sense to me. So, but Shadow of the Colossus, obviously, it does feel a little better. But obviously, in that game, you're fighting giant colossi things, and Last Guardian, you basically don't have any combat as the boy. The one that's basically doing all the fighting is Trico. But I mean, yeah, you can use the mirror thing and make Trico, you know, fire lasers or whatever. But that's about it. And I know you can like do a few other little things to kind of help in combat, but you're not fighting. So, but I like that. The music of all three games I love. Ico has some really nice songs. You know, the credits song is just really, really nice, and yeah, like I said, the music of all three games are quite good. But yeah, I would, you know, again, this is kind of just another rambly video, but I would like an Ico remake. Now I would kind of like to see that, and kind of like, this is my opinion, I would kind of like to see the Ico remake in sort of a trilogy collection with Shadow of the Colossus and Last Guardian. Just kind of get a Ueda trilogy thing together, because I don't know how you convince people to get an Ico remake for $60, unless they, you know, said here's like $30, $40, whatever. But I don't know. It's I think if you packaged it with, you know, the 2018 Shadow of the Colossus remake and a remastered Last Guardian with 60 FPS, because that'd be awesome. I think if you said like that collection 60, yeah, I'd buy that, because Ueda's awesome. I love his games, so, you know. But yeah, there's not much to really say, but it's kind of a weird thing. There's so much to say, but there's so much, you know, there's not much to say. It's a weird thing for me, but yeah, all I can say is, to whoever watches this, if you've never played Ico, I do highly recommend playing it. However you can, that is. But like I said, I recommend it. Again, be prepared for not the most tight controls. Very loose, very, you know. But understand that I almost feel like that was the point, combat-wise, especially. The rest of it, early PS2, you know. I can at least say that it's almost kind of like a antithesis of Kingdom Hearts 1 on the PS2. Where Kingdom Hearts feels like a very stiff game to control. Ico feels way, a bit too loose. But I love both. I love both of those games a lot, obviously. But, and I'm looking forward, speaking of 20-year-old games, I am looking forward to 20th anniversary for Kingdom Hearts. That's going to be interesting. I'm planning on doing something for that. But, yeah, again, I'm probably not going to keep this video going on for too much longer, but I do appreciate everyone who does watch and likes and all that. And I do suggest sharing. Again, I know this is rambling, basically, but Ico is a special game, and I would love for it to be seen and played and loved by more people, because Ueda's games should be played and loved and enjoyed by more people, in my opinion. But because that's the kind of stuff I would love to see be at the forefront for games. More games like these 3 games. More game creators like Ueda. More, just more of that. I love all of it. But, so many games I love, and so many games are not quite like Ueda that I do love, obviously, but then again, I guess that's what makes him special. That there isn't many out there like him. But, yeah, so I'm probably just gonna cut it here. So, again, comment if you like, subscribe if you like, and I have a few other ideas for videos in my head, but yeah, so thank you everybody for watching, and as always, thank you for being awesome, and until next time.